Lucky them, huh? First off, thank you all for joining us today as we celebrate the life of my beloved grandmother, Aurora Elizondo. There's a lot of people here, which just is a testament to how many people loved her and loved our family. So thank you for being here, first and foremost. The recent few days have been those of emotion, sadness, but appreciation. My grandmother lived a wonderful life full of love from her family and friends. My immediate family and I have had the privilege of spending the last 10 years with her, living with us. So we've gotten to see my grandmother overcome battle after battle. She personified bravery and somehow showered us with love along the way. Growing up, you never believed anything could happen to somebody like that, someone who cares for you. You think they're bigger than life, that they're pretty much invincible, and they're going to last forever. And loss is an incredibly difficult thing to overcome. The thing about loss is with loss comes fear. Fear that we'll forget the ones that we love. Fear that we'll forget their laugh, their smile, their touch, and their love for us. When somebody close to you passes, a lot of the times you hear the same, sort of comments made. I can't imagine what you're going through. It may be hard now, but life moves on. And I don't think there's such thing as moving on from someone who you love. You can't honor love by moving on from it. Love deserves to be cherished and to be celebrated. The love we share is more than just the moments that we have. They don't end when we lose somebody. The people we love and have lost are still here. They're still very present with us. When I was reminiscing about my grandmother in the days that she's passed, I found myself saying things like she was amazing or she did love us all so much. And my grandmother still is amazing and is still incredible and is still so loving. We are still all people impacted by my grandmother. We take after her in how we care for each other, how we decide what is right and wrong, and how we love one another as she did. So we have not moved on, and we won't. The memory of losing my grandmother is met only with the memories we spent together. The memory of my grandmother being in the hospital bed is only trumped by the memory of us spending our summers together, buying an ice cream anytime the cartman rode by, and sitting in the back seat while my grandfather drove me, my brother, and my grandma to the grocery store. The memory of my grandmother's final days are met with her smiling, seeing her family anytime we got together, whether it was holidays, parties, anything. And the memory of losing my grandmother is met with every good memory she helped create in the time that we shared. Every grass-stained shirt that she cleaned, every bowl of sopita that she cooked when we were hungry, and every hug she ever gave when we said goodbye for the day. The odd thing about missing someone and experiencing grief is that it has an act of sharing the weight that we love them with. The greater love you have someone, the greater grief you feel. And so we have no choice but to thank God for the grief that we experience. How lucky are we that we may have shared the time together with such an amazing person? One of my favorite authors writes, "What gifts of God are not punishment?" In reality, it's a privilege to exist, and with existence comes suffering. The suffering of losing someone that you love and care for so deeply. I am grateful for every moment I was able to spend with my grandmother. Another one of my favorite poets, Henri Matisse, writes, there are always flowers for those who want to see them. In times of sadness, my grandmother was always a shining light, and she even is today. Thank you all for being here.